button, I wish you could talk. I'd like to know your story. Well, it's a great day here. Got some buddies up from Tennessee. That's Mike. This is my good buddy Dave. He's been a faithful viewer for a long time. And this is his boy Ben. And they came all the way from Oak Ridge, Tennessee to dig with 7. And we're going to have a wonderful time today. Actually, Dave, whenever he was a young man, spent a lot of time on this farm. And he's been talking to me about wanting to come back, and we've been trying to get all this together now for how long, you say?
Oh, years at least.
Yeah, and we finally got it done, and they got in last night, and so we're going to do a little bit of hunting and hopefully find something. We've hunted this quite a bit, but they've got a couple of AT Pros, and I'm going to use my GPX today, and we'll find something. We'll send these boys back home with some relics.
All right.
There Mike is over there hunting, and Dave is, what'd you say what's your position here?
I'm the, I forgot what I called it.
Fort something.
Oh, I'm the aide de camp.
Aide de camp, okay. Aide de camp.
That's
And,
some more of that French for Jet.
Yeah, that's some more of that French there. I think I've got my first good signal. I hadn't popped it yet.
Didn't y'all come see this?
Pretty good hole right here. But I think I've got a flat button right here. I do. I've got a cuff. And it's got a shank on it. I tell you what, this rain has helped us here. Sure has. Early 1800s. Flat button there. It's cool today. We got another storm coming in. There's Ben over there. This is a deep hole right here, and I'm really surprised that this was a button. It didn't sound like it. And I'll tell you something else about it. That's a 1700s tomback. Little cuff. I really thought this was going to be a piece of iron. Yay, what a good surprise. Give this one to Dave for him to take back with him.
Man, treasure.
Listen, here he is. It's a 1700s tomback.
Ain't that cute?
You can tell the tombacks by the shine, and it has this little dome.
Weren't they like machined?
Spun back, some of them are spun back. Yeah.
That's cute.
There you go, Bubba.
Well, thank you.
Mike hollered at me, said that he's got a signal over here. Dave and Ben are working down in the bottom there. Both of these guys are using AT Pros. What you got, Mike?
I think it's a knife, part of an iron knife. Utensil.
Oh, it is. Colonial dinner knife right there. You know, we find a lot of these at these colonial sites. This is the handle part. This is the blade right here. That's a great find. That's a piece of history right there.
Yeah. I thought, see right there's the rust off of it right there.
Yeah, you were pretty deep, weren't you?
Yeah, it gave a great signal.
Yeah.
I thought it was lead. It was the best signal I've got. This colonial knife is a good find by Mike, and one that's common on colonial sites.
You know, knives have been used since prehistoric times. Dinner knives originally had sharp points and would be used to spear food and carry it to the mouth to eat. However, King Louis XIV of France found it disgusting when diners used the point of their knives to clean their teeth after eating. Therefore, he decreed in 1669 that knives brought to the dinner table have rounded points. Spoons have been used as eating utensils since paleo times. Prehistoric people used shells or chips of wood for spoons. In fact, the ancient words for spoons suggest which material were used in different areas. The Greek and Latin words are derived from the word cochlea, meaning a spiral shell, while the Anglo-Saxon word spone means a chip of wood. By the Middle Ages, royalty and other wealthy people used spoons made from precious metals. In the 14th century, pewter became commonly used and making spoons affordable to the general public. But the fork has the most checkered past of all eating utensils. In fact, the seemingly humble instrument was once considered quite scandalous. In 1004, the Greek niece of a Byzantine emperor used a golden fork at her wedding feast in Venice. At the time, most Europeans still ate with their fingers and knives, so the Greek's bride's newfangled implement was seen as sinful by local clergy. They said, God in his wisdom has provided man with natural forks, his fingers. Therefore it is an insult to him to substitute artificial metal forks for them when eating. When the bride died of the plague a few years later, St. Peter Damian opined that it was God's punishment for her hateful vanity. Obviously, this cast a dark cloud over the use of the fork for some time. At the beginning of the 17th century, forks were still uncommon in the American colonies, but the new blunt-tipped knives imported to the colonies made it difficult to spear food. Therefore, the use of forks soon became accepted. By the 1850s, forks were well established in the United States, where they've been used ever since. Out of that hole right there, this one here sounded good. It is a fired, I think a 44 round ball on this colonial site. Tell where the sprue used to be, I think, right there. Good find. There's the rest of the guys over there. This one sounded pretty bad, really, but it's fairly deep. It is a cuff button, but it's another 1700s tomback. Shank is broke there. Wasn't a real smooth sound on this GPX. Jumped up to a high tone real quick. Normally that's a piece of a nail. I've dug a lot of nails, but that's a great find. This one here, I had a good loud sound, but it was kind of a trashy sound, and I had it in situ and thought I was recording, but I wasn't. It's a pewter button and it's got a shank on it. You know, that's 1700s, maybe mid 1700s. That's a great find. Very deep hole right there, 9 inches. And I've got a super good button here with a shank on it. It's not tomback, it's brass. Don't think it's tomback. Yes, it is too. I can see it there now. It's a thin tomback. That was a good sound. Very good sound. That's a spun back. 1700s colonial button. Mike has got a find, he said.
First button, I believe.
Where's it at?
Got it in the clump here.
Oh, here in the middle?
Yeah.
Hadn't broke it out yet then. That's what it is. It's a flat button and oh yeah, it's got a shank. Little cuff.
Alright.
That one's brass. It's not tomback, but that don't matter. That's a great find. That's a great find.
Thank you.
He's got a good one here in situ right there. Pop him out and let's see what we got. I hope it's a button. It is, ain't it?
Yes.
It's a little cuff. It's got the shank broke off, but it's a cuff button. Now just imagine who 200 years ago would have wore that. Going right down there to the spring to get water and lost the cuff button right there.
That's amazing.
Great find.
Thank you.
You know, guys, I started doing shout outs back in 2015, and this makes exactly 100 shout outs that I've given. And today I want to do a shout out to Relic Singer. You see his channel there on your screen. This guy has a lot of good videos, but he doesn't have a lot of subscribers. So go check out Relic Singer, like, subscribe, and share, and be sure and tell him that Seven and Tennessee Jeff sent you. Extremely deep hole right here. And I thought I had a hold real whenever I first pulled it out. I could see it had one hole in it. But I believe it's pewter. And I've looked at it through a loop. It's not a coin. Maybe a repurposed pewter lead button. I don't know. But I think it's pewter lead. It's not flaking off, so it's got more of a lead content. Little button, I wish you could talk. I'd like to know your story. Out of that hole right there, a fare signal. It is another pewter button. Shanks broke off. Can't tell if it's got anything on the front of it or not. That's another good colonial find right there. We had a good hunt.
We did.
Just kind of a thrown together deal. Dave, whenever he was a young man, spent a lot of time on this farm right here. We've been talking about this for probably a year. And he brought Mike, his good friend, along, brought his son Ben, and everybody today at least found a button. And so that's a good day. Any day that you can get out and do that, that's a good day.
Expected.
Yeah. I really didn't expect us to find a whole lot, but we've had a little bit of rain, and so it was a good hunt, and so glad that I got to meet all you guys.
Same here. It was a pleasure.
Get to hunt with you, and spend some time, and we depending on what y'all do tonight, we may go out and eat tonight or something other. Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
we generally after church on Wednesday night go to the Mexican restaurant and eat some supper. So
no pickle bologna?
No, they don't have no pickle bologna. This guy all day been wanting pickle bologna. You'll have to come back whenever baseball is in, and we'll have some pickle bologna then. But great to be with all of y'all.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate meeting you.
Thank you so much.
And being with you.
One thing with Seven, what you see out there is what you get, isn't it?
That's it. They learned a little bit here today, though, too, that that I dig a lot of nails. I dig a lot of junk. Me and Jeff do. And I wish Jeff could have been here, because you'd got a kick out of him. We'd probably had to put him in the truck for a little while or something, you know, put him in timeout. But Jeff's a great guy.
Well, there may be another time.
We've had a good day, but we've worked hard to get what we've got.
Great day.
and it's kind of hard to talk over the cows, but that's the way it is here in our neck of the woods. But anyway, enjoyed hunting with you guys. Dave has been one of my most faithful subscribers, and Ben and Mike and them. And I know that there are a lot of you guys out there that are just like these guys here. And we don't deserve that, but we certainly do appreciate all the comments and all of the support that you give to our channel. So we'll see you next when?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, that's right. See you Tuesday, guys.